65 on one touchdown run. They need a big game from him again tonight against the Eskimos on Friday Night Football.
Welcome to Wendy's Friday Night Football on TSN. Tonight, Eskimos, Red Blacks. Come on in.
Let's get ready to go. Boys are all here, gonna put on the show. Show us your colors. Say get ready to go. It's Friday Night Football. It's Friday Night, you know. Yeah! Oh, what a catch! Touchdown! What a hit! Spectacular! The stadium is rocking. Is it Friday already? So show us your colors, come coast to coast. Friday Night Football on TSN. Let's go!
You know who else had a really good game the last time the Red Blacks and Eskimos met? That guy, Darius Bowman, 3 touchdown catches in this one as Edmonton won it going away 27-11 to improve to 3-0. That was a while ago, back in Week 3 in the CFL season up to Week 8. And welcome to it, Friday Night Football. I'm Rod Smith, back with the panel of Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz here as well as these two teams meet again. Well, that one was closer. Ottawa struggled more in the last couple of weeks. Let's look at players to watch right now. Who are you watching for in this game tonight?
You know, I'm watching a team called the Edmonton Eskimos because I want to see if they can go from good to great. Now, you would think being great is always about beating the teams that are at the top of your division or right there in terms of getting into the Grey Cup. But being great is also dominating the teams that you should dominate. If the Edmonton Eskimos can come out for 2 weeks in a row and beat up on an opponent, they truly are great.
Yeah, Schultz, you know that leadership can come in all shapes and sizes, and from veterans as well as rookies. And first-year player from Toledo, Jermaine Robinson, cornerback for the Ottawa Red Blacks. I'm watching him because he came in last week and he lit a fire on that defense, and he played with extreme speed, passion, and commitment. And this is what you need on the defensive side of the ball, create some turnover. Jermaine Robinson's flying over the football field. Didn't matter whether it was his first career start. He went out there, played fast, and made things happen. Maybe that can carry over on his teammates tonight.
Well, you know who I'm looking at is Antoine Pruneau. And T.J. Hill was cut a couple of weeks ago because they wanted to see what their young guy can do. Their first-round draft pick, their strong side linebacker. And if I'm the Edmonton Eskimos, I'm going to challenge him. I'm going to put my best receiver, Darius Bowman, on him and see if he can cover him. And if not, it could be a long evening for these Red Blacks. He's a young guy. He looks good. He looked good in his first game, but it's going to be a tough night for him. If he plays well, they got a pretty good chance of winning.
Well, the point has been made by you guys in our pregame show, the need to stay in this game. A couple of weeks ago against the Riders, turning over the football, it was over early. Same story in Calgary last week. Ottawa's competed, certainly did against Edmonton earlier on the season, as mentioned, actually led it at the half. They need that kind of start again in this one to have a chance against the top defense in the Canadian Football League. Red Blacks, their third home game of their first season. It's coming up on Friday Night Football. Kickoff is next. Robert Breithout of Calgary. You could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's return for a touchdown in this game tonight, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if it happens for a second time in this game, you can also win $1 million. Good luck with that, Robert. It's the Eskimos and the Red Blacks with Rod Black and Dwayne Ford, guys.
Thank you so much, Rod. Rainy night over the Rideau. And the Edmonton Eskimos and the Ottawa Red Blacks, 5-1 meets 1-5 at TD Place.
Darius Bowman has been red hot. His best game coming against these Ottawa Red Blacks. 3 touchdowns in that performance. Came into this week leading all CFL receivers with 440 yards. And his return to health in Edmonton made another big receiver expendable. Now with the Ottawa Red Blacks, a guy who's become Henry Burris' favorite target, that's former Eskimo Marcus Henry. 19 catches for him for 234 yards in his last 3 games as he starts to develop chemistry with his veteran quarterback.
2 teams that met back on July 11th. There's Rick Campbell, his lineage, of course, as we watched in the pregame show. Back to the Eskimos. Said before this game, this one's important for him and his team. And they met again back on July 11th. The Eskimos won that day, 27-11. First-year head coach Chris Jones, almost unblemished record. His team has not lost on the road. Moments before this game, a bit of a delay. The Edmonton Eskimos were in the tunnel, and we understand they weren't announced. The anthems played. The Eskimos sideline was empty.
Yeah, just the Red Blacks standing on their sidelines. We saw them, their pregame introductions of their starting lineup. I think they may have been starting to wonder if they were going to get this one by default.
But we are ready to roll now under the Friday night lights in Canada's capital. Bradshaw will put it on the tee. A drizzly, rainy day, rainy night, a little cool tonight, expecting some more rain. DJ Harper and Jamil Smith are back for the Ottawa Redblacks. Bradshaw kickstarts this one. Rematch, Ottawa and Edmonton. It's Jamil Smith, the smallest man on the field, helmet first, up to the 40-yard line. Henry Burris brings his offense on the field. He's 92 yards away from 53,000 in his career.
We know Henry Burris is the leader of this football team, and he's got to lead the turnaround. He's had 5 interceptions in his last 3 games. Looks to get this team back on the rails in terms of protecting the football. Wallace Miles looking to become one of his breakout guys. 5 catches, 102 yards last week versus Calgary. And you saw Schultze and Lapo talked about this young man at guard, Nolan McMillan, 2013 first-round pick, has played a couple different positions on that O-line.
Red Blacks have a new receiver, and Andrea Jones, who's been signed this week. Out of the backfield, picking up half the first down yardage is Siobhan Walker, and they're going to have to establish the run with Siobhan Walker. Our starters to watch are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
Now, and a change in that front 7. Otha Foster replaces the injured Eric Samuels at the wide side linebacker spot. He had been playing halfback, and on the D-line, look for the dominant combination of Sewell and Willis, combining for 11 sacks thus far.
Second down conversion has been an issue for the Red Blacks. Henry Burris, quick strike. Marcus Henry, one of his favorite targets. Henry to Henry, and it's a first down for the Red Blacks.
This just taking advantage of the size of Marcus Henry, one of 4 former Eskimos in this Ottawa receiving corps. Run downfield, get first down yardage, use the big body to post up.
Issue for the Red Blacks. Most recently in their last 3 losses in a row. Receivers hanging on to the football. Trying to clean that up tonight. One of the reasons they brought Andrea Jones in. Burris, sideline. Ball thrown behind the intended target, Siobhan Walker, who was bursting out of the backfield. The Ottawa Red Blacks have also had trouble coming out of the gate.
Yeah, certainly, and this is a team that isn't really equipped in terms of their personnel to play from behind, and there you see it, particularly the first quarters. The boys talked about it in the studio before the game, outscored 45-7 in first quarters the last 3 games.
2nd and 10. Burris in the shotgun here near the midfield stripe. Sends out 5 receivers. Penalty clock down. Burris over the top and overshoots his receiver downfield. He also got hammered as he threw the football. Flag on the far side of the field. Our referee tonight is Kim Murphy.
Offside. Edmonton number 41. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Odell Willis, Eskimos defensive end. Notoriously quick coming off that edge. Henry Burris may be mixing up his snap counts a little bit to try and slow down the quick get off of Willis and Willie Jefferson on the other side of that Eskimo D-line.
Working against Jerome McCullough on that Ottawa O-line. Burris out of the backfield on 2nd and 5. Siobhan Walker brought down. But first he picked up the first down, and a good drive engineered here out of the chute by the Red Blacks. 14-yard pickup for Siobhan Walker.
And they're just going to get Siobhan Walker shooting out into that flat. Henry Burris from his quarterback position is looking to Walker. Walker's just shooting out in the flat to his immediate left, and with the speed of Walker, once he gets a defender outflanked, you get that ball out in front of him a little bit more. Rennie Curran's not going to catch him.
Walker, play action, and dropping the football. Marcus Henry. As we had mentioned, the Red Blacks with some drop-itis of late.
And this has been an issue for a team that needs to play as close to mistake-free as possible. Marcus Henry's going to come in that right slot, nice play action. After getting Siobhan Walker involved early, Burris puts it on the money. Henry's got to make that play for him. We had this exact conversation with Rick Campbell yesterday. There's a need for these receivers to make some plays for the quarterback.
Three-man rush. Burris avoids one, and a penalty flag down, and again another drop football. Wallace Miles on a low toss, but there's a penalty flag at the 37-yard line on both sides of the field.
Offside. Edmonton, number 99. 5-yard penalty, remaining second down.
Willie Jefferson.
Jefferson in that defensive end spot opposite Odell Willis with the injury to Marcus Howard.
There's the jump
there for him.
Red Blacks get a couple of penalties aided in this drive. Good protection now. Flush. Burris tosses deep end zone and overthrows Carlton Mitchell.
And this is another example of that Edmonton Eskimo pressure. As Henry Burris spots his receiver Mitchell deep. He's just using his speed. This is a former track guy in Mitchell. Big target. Former Eskimo makes a nice move to get outside and deep. But Burris, with a man in his face, has to throw it little high, little early. The leaping defender on him and overthrows the receiver as a result.
Brett Maher from the 41-yard line. The kick is up and it is wide. Jamal Miles will take the knee. Rouge for the Red Blacks. One on the board, but they wanted a lot more. This guy has given the Eskimos a whole lot more this season. Mike Riley having a great start to 2014. Wendy's Friday Night Football is brought to you by Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Cheeseburger and Pretzel Pub Chicken. Back for a limited time. Wendy's, now that's better. Wendy's Friday Night Football in the nation's capital tonight. Mike Riley, the 29-year-old out of Central Washington. His 24th career start, the handoff up the pipe. The guy who's going to get a lot of the ball is Kendall Lawrence, who lined up as a receiver last week with the missing Fred Stamps. He's going to line up at running back as well with Sean White out of the lineup.
Yeah, but still plenty of weapons to work with for Mike Riley, who's done a great job so far. 11 touchdown passes for him. Of course, Darius Bowman, the big game week 3 against Ottawa with 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a key off-season move for this team, acquiring left tackle Tony Washington, that draft day deal with the Argos.
2nd and 4 out of the backfield. Calvin McCarty rumbles down the near sideline. Picks up a first down, an 18-yard gain for the dependable security blanket out of the backfield, fullback Calvin McCarty.
Yeah, McCarty comes down. He's going to show block, but then he's going to release out to the flat, gets that defender pinned inside. You'll see how wide open he comes as a result. Shows that block. Everybody's crashing, thinking he's in there for a run play. No one goes with McCarty. Easy throw for Mike Riley. Good high percentage play.
His 7th catch of the season. He's only had 1 carry. Lots of protection. Riley rolling right. And that time going to McCarty, throwing behind him.
Defensively for the Ottawa Red Blacks. A couple of changes in recent weeks. Antoine Pruneau, the much talked about takeover of that Sam linebacker spot from veteran TJ Hill. He had 8 tackles last week. Jasper Simmons has been the #1 playmaker on this defense from the weak side linebacker position. And Eddie Elder, who had been a backup halfback for this team, replaces an injured Eric Fraser as the starting free safety this week. This is Elder's natural position. We'll see if he can help out on the back end.
Out of Arizona State, 3-man rush. Riley loads of time again out of the backfield. And this time, Kendall Lawrence plays oopsie.
Yeah, Lawrence. That's the Red Blacks off the hook, returning the favor as we saw a couple of drops on that opening Ottawa possession. You notice Mike Riley looking to his backs very early in this ball game. A couple of looks for Calvin McCarty in here. That outlet as he looked to Kendall Lawrence.
Bradshaw, 43-yard average on the season. We'll look to angle one with Jamil Smith back. Here's 5, a good kick. Penalty flag down, and Smith gets pummeled. He's up and all right. 44-yard boot for Shaw. And another flag just flew on the sideline. Might be objectionable conduct as the player was coming by a referee. So we have a couple of infractions here.
The Edmonton bench, their opinion confirmed by Kim Murphy that it's going against Ottawa, that last flag.
No yards. Edmonton number 36, 15-yard penalty. Objectionable conduct. Ottawa, player number 32. 5-yard offset. First down, Ottawa.
So after all of that, it's a long field for Rick Campbell's Red Blacks when we come back. The Chevy looks to rev it up tonight on his home turf. We'll see a lot more of number 29 as Wendy's Friday Night Football continues. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Back in Ottawa, Red Blacks with their second possession. The 1-0 lead early on here. Burris to Walker up the gut.
I like Ottawa's commitment to try to run the football early here, and I hope this is something they stay with. When you're playing a defensive line as aggressive as Edmonton's is, and a group of guys who can really get after it, you want to give them something to think about other than rushing the passer. Forcing them to defend the run early is going to help out Henry Burris when it comes time to throw that football, in terms of buying him a little bit more time.
Ottawa got off to a good start in their first meeting, led 7-2 at the half. Siobhan Walker also had a 65-yard touchdown run in that game. Here comes the rush. Burris lets it go, and Carlton Mitchell is dragged down near the 19-yard line on a crossing pattern, but short of the first down.
And you can see exactly what Edmonton's philosophy is on this play. It's not so much about getting to Henry Burris necessarily, but the goal here is to pressure him enough, not so much to create the sack, but you want to get enough pressure on Henry Burris to force him to throw the ball early. So it's got to come out short. He hits that underneath route, and look at all the Eskimo defenders who are coming up to make the tackle in front of that first down marker.
So Brett Maher is going to have to put his heavy leg into this one. The Eskimos are going to have very good field position. It is Jamal Miles bursting outside. Another penalty flag at the 45-yard line. Knocked out of bounds, and another flag flies late. Already we've had a number of penalties, and we are less than 7 minutes into this ball game. Two teams that have racked up the penalty yardage in the CFL this year. Edmonton 7th, Ottawa 8th.
On the return, illegal block, number 39, Edmonton. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton number 88. Combined 25 yards, first down.
Well, that takes away the field position. How about the last time these teams met? Darius Bowman had the hat trick. One of Mike Riley's biggest weapons.
You mentioned it before the break. A Darius Bowman partner had a massive outing. July 11th versus these Ottawa REDBLACKS. 9 catches, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a whole lot of highlights.
Well, that penalty pushed the ball back to the Edmonton 31-yard line. They would have been near the Ottawa 40. Riley, twin backs, decides to pitch it. Lawrence smothered near the 34-yard line. Kendall Lawrence, who had a touchdown last week, filling in for Fred Stamps. And again, the Eskimos missing some of their key offensive players in Fred Stamps and John White. Kendall Lawrence, talk about a utility guy. He's the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time with Edmonton defensively, guys who can play multiple positions, but now getting into it on Chris Jones' team on offense.
Hurry up offense. 2nd and 7. Riley has time. Slant pattern. The ball is knocked away. Reggie Jones in to break that up. It would have been a first down. It's not, and the Eskimos have to kick it away.
This is just a pit bull type play by the corner. Reggie Jones, he's got coverage on Shamad Chambers. Riley throws the strike in there. Chambers looks like he's got it for that first down, but look at Jones with that right hand. Fighting the whole way. Whistle to whistle. Great effort from the Ottawa defender.
Guy who won a Super Bowl with New Orleans. Also a UFL championship. Bradshaw. The wee guy, Jamil Smith. There's a penalty flag, no yards. That should be a 15-yard penalty. As Jamil Smith caught that ball in the air, and the Eskimos were within that 5-yard restraining area.
No yards. Edmonton number 36. 15-yard penalty. First down, Ottawa.
A couple of those for the Edmonton Eskimos already.
Henry Burris, the Ottawa REDBLACKS, looking to tune up their offense.
This is my 4th different offense in 4 years, and sometimes I have to remember that certain things that I ran in the past aren't happening in this offense, and some of the same personnel I've had in the past, they aren't in this offense. And sometimes, when you're used to repping out plays certain ways and certain adjustments are made, sometimes in your mind you see those things playing out when they actually aren't. And I can say, that along with the fact that our talent level is much better than the way we're playing, those 2 things are the most frustrating parts to me.
But I would contend that for Henry Burris, and particularly the relationship between he and the receiving core, it's not so much about the talent level, but about the experience level that's lacking in this receiving group. There is no Andy Fantuz that can get on the same page with a veteran quarterback as easily.
3-man rush for the Eskimos. Burris, long ball. Again, Carlton Mitchell. An overshoot by the strong-armed Burris. Close to 53,000 yards in his glorious career. This would have been a big gainer.
Absolutely, and again, you're seeing that combination of size and speed that Carlton Mitchell possesses, and they're hoping that he's able to develop that over time. Gets in behind his defender, just inches away again for the REDBLACKS.
Let him go!
Brett Maher has been unbelievable doing this season. He has not given up a single point punting and has been able to pin opponents now a dozen times inside their 20-yard line. 1-0 REDBLACKS. So far, so good for the Edmonton Eskimos and their coach, Chris Jones. Here's Matthew Shinetti on the sidelines.
Guys, when Chris Jones arrived as Edmonton's head coach, he had all of his players write down their personal and team goals. So for someone like Armando Sewell, it's 40 tackles and 10 sacks. And Mike Riley has his own goal for passing and touchdown yards. But Sewell told me the whole exercise was great because it was about accountability. It's a theme with these Eskimos. Riley went ahead and said, we understand the ultimate team goal is winning the Grey Cup. And then Sewell added, well, you know what? These are professional goals now. They're not college goals. So we understand that if we let ourselves down, we're ultimately going to be letting the team down. So when we gave those papers back to the coaches, we understood that we all now were buying in. Guys?
Thank you, Matt. Boy, already achieving a lot of team goals. Already more wins than they had all of last season. 4-14 mark. Riley back in the pocket. Heaves one. Nice catch. First down. Shamad Chambers, the Markham, Ontario native.
And Shamad Chambers now in his third year really starting to pick up his game as he settles into the world of the Canadian Football League. And this here, you highlight a difference between these two teams as far as we've seen a couple of drops from Ottawa receivers in this ball game. That's been an issue for them. Here you see a ball that's not thrown perfectly by Mike Riley, but Shamad Chambers makes a play for his quarterback.
Former star and Wilfred Laurier, a 6th-round pick by the Eskimos. Here's the rush. There goes the football. Kendall Lawrence is nabbed perfectly by former Argo Jasper Simmons. Simmons has had a big impact on this red-black linebacking core.
Yeah, a little bit of experience, as you said, with the Toronto Argonauts. He is a guy who has thrived here in Ottawa with a greater opportunity to play beyond the field regularly, leading this team in both tackles and interceptions thus far. And you saw his sense of anticipation as he was all over that play.
2nd down and 10. Red Blacks load up the box here. Will they be coming? They send 4. Riley whips one in, and it is picked off. Brandon Thompson with the interception. And a huge one for the Red Blacks with 4:07 to go in the first quarter.
Mike Riley threw this one into a crowd. If it wasn't going to be Thompson, there were a couple of other Ottawa defenders in that area. Edmonton comes out of that cluster formation, but Thompson drops off of his man in the flat to go and help out, reading the quarterback's eyes. Comes up with a big pick, number 2 on the season for the Boise State product.
Now the focus is on Darius Bowman. That ball was intended for Bowman that time as Walker pounds the ground again and meets up with 3 members of the green and gold, including Dexter McCoyle. Well, here's the issue, though, for the Red Blacks. Their red zone production, not very good. Tied for 7th, as a matter of fact, with the Eskimos. Red zone, of course, is kind of the green zone to some teams. Inside the 20-yard line to the goal line. Will the Red Blacks find the end zone? Burris, near side. Ball was caught at the 10. They're giving him the spot. And if they do give that spot, it's a first down for former Eskimo Matt Carter. His 14th catch of the season. First down, Ottawa.
Matt Carter, a nice free agent signing here. One of the keys right in the middle of that picture. Saw Marcus Henry, the Red Blacks leading receiver, asked to block there, steps up and picks up the blitz from Otha Foster. That's what creates that passing lane for Henry Burris to get it out to Matt Carter.
Acadia product, Matt Carter. Last year with the Eskimos, a couple of seasons with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Burris now with time, looks in zone, and knocked away.
Tremendous defensive play from Foster.
Otha Foster knocks it away from Marcus Henry.
And this is textbook from Foster. He's right on the right edge of your screen. Gets hands on and gets right in that hip pocket. Ball in the air, head around, hand in front. Textbook coverage from Foster.
That's what the old saying is, watch the guy's eyes. He was bearing down on Marcus Henry, knew that ball was coming, and knocked it away. There's a challenge flag now from Rick Campbell saying that was interference. For those of you watching in the United States, DPI, defensive pass interference, is reviewable now in the Canadian Football League.
Initially, as we said, it looked like pretty good coverage from Foster, but we'll take a closer look here.
Ottawa is challenging that there was defensive pass interference on a play. We'll review the play.
Keep an eye on Foster. He's going to cover from right on that edge as Henry releases. Now there's hands on early. Open space, ball gets there. And to me it appears he's fighting for the football. We'll have a little tighter view here.
This will go in the hands and eyes of the command center now. We have seen maybe worse than that, and that has not been changed.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that just looked like a pretty good defensive play from Otha Foster.
There have been 15 pass interference challenges. Only 4 of those this season have been overturned or changed.
So at this point, you see a hand on the jersey. And this isn't an issue. I mean, again, to me, that just looks like a good defensive play. If a guy can't do that, I'm not sure what he can do. That left hand's on the back, but to me, he's not impeding the receiver.
Would you change your mind if he was grabbing his jersey?
If there's a clutch and he's slowing him down, but he's clearly not slowing him down.
Here's Kim Murphy.
After review, the ruling on the field has been confirmed by replay. Just an incomplete pass.
Amen.
So make that 4 for 16 now. Otha Foster to West Alabama, was going to go to Ole Miss at one time. He's a guy who spent some time in the Marine Corps. On the Kansas City Chiefs practice roster a couple of seasons ago. He's replacing Eric Samuels at that linebacker spot. Samuels, of course, hurt last week, a neck injury. Wishing him the very best. Burris again. Goal line! Oh! Dropped the football. That had 6 written all over it.
That hurts.
And again, the DBs come up big. And it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the execution of this play, right up until that point, couldn't have been any better. Good protection, throws on the money. You can see Jones comes out as the number 2 receiver, and he's running that little quick out, almost like a flat route. Perfect leverage on his defender, Grimes. Ball hits him literally in the numbers.
Maher makes it a 4-point game. Andrea Jones, this is his first game with the Red Blacks, his debut tonight. Here's a guy over the last couple of seasons that's been catching a lot of footballs from Henry Burris when they were together in Hamilton. In fact, almost 1,000 yards over the last 2 seasons and 8 touchdowns. That should have been a touchdown for Ottawa, and that's been an issue in that red zone. Again, we talked about getting a touchdown within the 20-yard line.
Yeah, but instead of a touchdown, it's going to go down as another Ottawa Red Blacks miscue here in the early going. There have been a few too many. They're a little bit off the mark on the throw behind to Siobhan Walker. There, a Marcus Henry drop on a well-thrown ball from Burris. Here, there's an opportunity for Wallace Miles to make a play. He dropped that ball. A couple of overthrows caused by some pressure.
Pat White in at quarterback, and he's brought down at the 40-yard line. They bring him in occasionally.
Yeah, and this is what I've been calling for since about week 2 of the season with the Edmonton Eskimos, is to see their deployment of Pat White increase. And this is a guy who ranks as one of the most prolific rushing quarterbacks in NCAA history. A star at West Virginia. We've seen him getting a little bit more involved week by week here with the green and gold.
It's a second-round draft pick by Miami in the NFL. Riley 2nd and 4. Hands it off to Lawrence. He's got room now. Kendall Lawrence squeezes through the line and past our umpire, Ben Major, in the middle of the field. You see him wearing number 31 there.
Lawrence gets a pretty good seam here as they wash things down inside. Tony Washington seals it off on the backside. A nice effort run there from Lawrence.
Just past the midfield stripe. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Lawrence, one more time, shuffles back the other way. Again, half the first down yardage coming down to the last play of this opening frame, which is strikingly similar to the last time these two teams met back on July 11th when the Eskimos had a 1-0 lead after one quarter.
Yeah, and that game remained close basically through the first three quarters. REDBLACKS doing a nice job hanging with one of the CFL's top clubs thus far.
Second down and 4. They've used Lawrence quite a bit here. Will he go to the air? Oh, that's offside. Flag flies. Riley, and a play to burn here, looking for a Darius Bowman who has still been silenced. Saw the REDBLACKS D-line jump.
Trying to time that blitz and get a little bit of pressure on Mike Riley. The Red-Black defender got caught in that neutral zone.
Offside. Ottawa, number 20. That penalty is declined. Illegal contact on a receiver. Ottawa, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So a double whammy, and because a quarter cannot end on a penalty, there will be one more here with zeros on the clock. Down to the 38-yard line. Again, final play. Opening frame here at TD Place Stadium tonight. Eskimos trying to get on the board. Slinging it out to Bowman, who dropped the football. This pigskin a little greasier than usual tonight. And a few drops. Low scoring game so far. REDBLACKS lead 4-0 over the visiting Edmonton Eskimos. Wendy's Friday Night Football on TSN rolls on in a moment. 1-5 is leading 5-1, 4-0 after not exactly an offensive showcase in that first quarter, but the REDBLACKS looking for win number 2 on the season. One of the factors for the REDBLACKS in their losses so far, though, Dwayne, is the fact that they cannot sustain these leads, keep these leads, and they have had some issues going forward. This, I know it's an expansion team with a capital E, but keep in mind, these aren't rookies by any stretch.
No, they're not. And the number of mistakes they're making is still higher than you'd like to see. And this is impacting them, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They don't necessarily have the same personnel that a team like Edmonton does. And as a result, their margin of error is a little smaller, meaning that they can't afford to make as many mistakes and get away with them. This is something they've got to clean up as this game goes on.
2nd and 10, Riley. Now he is blasted. And that hit was very close to the head area. Brandon Lang with a little somersault to mock those Eskimos. The first sack of the game goes to the REDBLACKS.
And you're going to see the bookends coming here. And each hit the quarterback. Brandon Lang, a former Eskimo, coming from the bottom of the screen. He has to fight through 2 Edmonton Eskimos to get there. Jonathan Williams, the D tackle, supplying pressure from the other side.
Of course, the Eskimos have made that somersault famous. This ball by Grant Shaw will go into the end zone and put the Eskimos on the board. Well, the CFL weekend continues tomorrow. We have a doubleheader for you. First up, Stampeders and Tiger Cats. That's at 2:30 Eastern. Then the Alouettes in Regina to take on the Rough Riders. Live coverage again, 2:30 Eastern for the first game. You can watch it on TSN, live at tsn.ca and TSN Go. As the East has to gather some steam against the Western Division foes. 16-3. Western teams lead Eastern teams in 2014. REDBLACKS trying to change that fortune tonight. Burris has his receivers in motion. There's the rush now. Pump fake, and he goes over the middle. He's got Wallace Miles down to the 20. Knocked out of bounds, but there's a penalty flag on the play. It's back at the 45-yard line, a 55-yard pickup. Former Bomber Wallace Miles. Is this coming back? No, it's going against the Eskimos.
Contact on a receiver. Edmonton number 15. Penalty is declined. First down, Ottawa.
This is perfect execution. A little hitch and go. You're going to see a look here as if the hitch is coming, but that route to Wallace Miles, he's going to continue down the sideline. They're going to get another vertical. Everybody bites on the hitch coming down low. There it is, right at the 35-yard line. Everybody sneaks up close, thinking they're going to make a tackle. Burris puts it over the top to Miles for a huge offensive gain.
Wallace Miles, I know there's a guy in our studio probably smiling right now. Milt Stegall has worked with Wallace Miles, Atlanta, Georgia native.
Well, Milt will probably text him after the game to say that old number 85 would have scored on that one.
As a matter of fact, Wallace Miles wanted, when he went to Winnipeg, wanted a number close to Milt's 85, so he picked 84. Edmonton is challenging. Chris Jones has thrown the yellow flag, saying the ball may have been turned over here, knocked out of bounds by Edmonton. Let's see.
Pops out, but nobody touches
Edmonton
it on the way
is
out.
challenging the ruling on the field of a fumbled out of bounds that it was last touched by them. We'll review the play.
It's punched out, but once it's loose, somebody else has got to touch it once it has actually been fumbled. So the punch out doesn't constitute the last touch for possession here.
Can't see it there anyway, but yeah, this is going to stay as played. And the Red Blacks will go back to the red zone. Henry Burris, by the way, is 6 yards away in passing from 53,000 in his career.
Get another look at the end of this play. So the punch out will come from behind. Left hand pops it up, but once the ball is loose, nobody else makes contact with that football. It's a terrific effort by Pat Watkins. Good heads up play. But so close to the sideline that nobody was going to be able to touch it to change possession here.
Talked about Wallace Miles and Milt. You know, I heard that
After review, the ruling on the field has been confirmed by replay. The ball was punched out, went directly to out of bounds. First down, Ottawa.
I heard Wallace Miles and Milt Stegall got together because their kids played soccer. And eventually, coach said, Wallace, you could work with Milt Stegall. So you never know who you can meet at a soccer game.
Yeah, pretty good teacher to have,
I'd say. Red Blacks threatening now. Only come away with a field goal and a single here tonight. And nowhere to go. Read perfectly.
Well, Dexter McCoyle, number 45, is playing that weak side linebacker spot, former college safety. But McCoyle very clearly got the scouting report. He's going to step up and contain this, recognizing the speed of Siobhan Walker, who's the man in that backfield. And you got to know, you do not let Siobhan Walker get to the outside. Perfect contained leverage from the first-year man, McCoyle.
Again, the dark spot for the Red Blacks has been second down conversion and red zone production. Burris to the far side, and Carlton Mitchell is not going to be able to get to the first down. Team that ranks 7th on second downs, trying to get a fresh set of downs. They will not. They'll bring out the field goal unit, and Henry Burris has now joined the 53,000 yard club. But he would have loved the first down here.
Yeah, it's a nice play in space by Aaron Grimes. And you talk about some of the Eskimo defenders who have really thrived with the arrival of Chris Jones to this football team. defensive line certainly stepping up, but second-year DB Aaron Grimes, I think, has really had a breakthrough under Jones this year.
Chippy here from the 20-yard line for Maher. Former Nebraska Cornhusker splits the uprights. And it's 7-1 Ottawa. Well, his odometer has a few ticks on it, but he still keeps on chucking. Henry Burris, near 40 years old and moving up the ladder now, 53,000 yards, 4th all-time.
Yeah, very impressive. Just the 4th man in CFL history to reach that 53,000-yard mark. Setting sights on a former teammate of his, Danny McManus.
Mike Riley, play fake and pump fake over the middle. He tosses it to Devin Bailey. First round pick of the Eskimos in the spring, 6th overall, Mississauga native.
Devin Bailey out of Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School in Mississauga. Very good program, played under Gary Waterman at St. Francis Xavier University.
Put up some big numbers. That's only his 4th catch as a pro baller. Fred Stamps out of the lineup. Some receivers getting some looks here tonight. Out of the backfield, Kendall Lawrence has some daylight. And down the sidelines, he's chopped out of bounds by free safety Eddie Elder. 24-yard gain. Good play call here by the Eskimos.
And the Eskimos have done a nice job in the early going here of freeing up their backs. They're going to swing them out wide. Watch for the middle linebacker, Travis Brown, coming off the edge here. It looks like he gets partway into that blitz and then does the, oh no, that was my guy.
Lawrence, who scored his first CFL touchdown last week in Montreal. Guy who also spent some time in the Italian Football League. And some time with Dallas in the National Football League. Hamilton, a look-see last year. Played in the Zoo, Missouri. Rockwell, Texas. Second down and 9 now. Lawrence doing it in the air and on the ground. The 44. Riley loads of time. And Devin Bailey makes the catch down near the 30. The more steamboats Mike Riley gets, the more he will do that.
And Devin Bailey getting a little more opportunity to play this week in the absence of Fred Stamps. Eskimos leading up to the CFL draft absolutely loved his size. And you see he's learned a little bit about how to run routes as well in the early portion of this season.
What an interesting pattern run right there. Second catch of the night by Bailey, and Shamon Chambers trying to snare one. Watched closely again by Reggie Jones.
The young Canadian receivers becoming a big part of this Edmonton Eskimo offense, using first-round picks in recent years. Devin Bailey this year, Shamon Chambers in 2012, Nate Kuhorn in 2011. Getting contributions from all three of those guys early in their careers.
Second down time. Riley. His receivers all to his right. He looks left and now decides to take off with it. Mike Riley's going down. Former Eskimo Justin Kapikani in on the tackle. And also Connor Williams.
Yeah, and Williams is going to come off the edge. He gets caught up inside, but then he's going to fight back to the outside as Mike Riley starts to scramble. Connor Williams, one of those guys that the Edmonton Eskimos chose as an the Ottawa REDBLACKS chose as an underclassman in 2013 out of Utah State. He's an Ottawa native playing here at home.
Bradshaw from the 39. This kick is up, and Shaw has made his last 11 in a row. That is a career high for him. The lead is now 3. Defense is rising up in Ottawa tonight. 7-4 the score here, Ottawa REDBLACKS. Let's go down to the sideline once again and join Matthew Shinetti.
Guys, we've already heard Henry Burris speak on trying to project the frustrations of being in this 4 different offense in 4 seasons. So this week, the quarterbacks and the receivers, after meeting individually as groups, came together in impromptu meetings to discuss the details, the X's and the O's. And when I asked Marcus Henry about it, he says, I think we're getting better. But after those drops in the first quarter, receivers coach Travis Moore pulled all the receivers aside on the sideline and said, guys, we're hearing all the criticism. Everyone's calling us up for not catching some balls, so we start making plays and catching some balls, just like that, guys.
Just like that. Matt Carter with some magic. What a catch. 35 yards. And he wasn't dropping this one.
No, Matt Carter using the wheels. One of those former Eskimos gets outside. Henry Burris has faith in the speed of Matt Carter, and what an effort. You talk about guys making plays for their quarterback. Doesn't get much better than that one from Matt Carter.
Down to the 40-yard line, 35-yard gain. Chevy Siobhan Walker is swallowed up by Cameron Sheffield for a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. We'll give him 3. 2nd and 7.
Matt Carter was one of the guys that receivers coach Travis Moore talked about yesterday as I spoke to him, and he mentioned the great speed that Matt Carter brings to this offense. This is one of the guys he worked with a little bit last season in Edmonton, and he could be a difference maker for this football team. Former first-round pick of the BC Lions out of Acadia University.
2nd and 7. Burris to air it out once again. He decides to go deep and no. Alonzo Lawrence, the ex-Argo. And there's a penalty flag in the backfield that was just thrown, the midfield stripe. Matt Carter's got some chalk all over him after that last catch he made on the sideline. That time, the ball looked like it was thrown well, but into traffic.
A couple of receivers in close quarters there.
Holding, Ottawa, number 50. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So they will push them back.
Goes against the left tackle, Jarrell McCullough, former Montreal Alouette.
Muller played at North Carolina State. He used to protect the blind side of Russell Wilson. Here's the rush now. Burris is knocked down. Throws it to the side. Wallace Miles wasn't ready for it. What looked like was going to be a sack, and Miles was looking at his quarterback thinking he was going down. The REDBLACKS were lucky to hang on to the football there. And again, confusion offensively for Ottawa.
Well, they're trying to bring a receiver in to help out in the protection here. That matchup doesn't work out so well with Willie Jefferson coming off the edges. He goes right over top of Wallace Miles.
Who was almost cursing, looking down.
Yeah.
Never give up on a play.
Yeah, rough sequence there for number 84.
Jamal Miles, no relation. The other side will give up a single point. So it's been defenses, it's been kickers, and a lot of dropped footballs so far here tonight on Wendy's Friday Night Football. 4-point game.
A rough little sequence of events there for Wallace Miles. He's got to come in. He gets the blocking responsibility. He draws the defensive end. Willie Jefferson off the edge. I got him. Oh, I don't got him. Son of a whoops. Quarterback's going down. Coach is going to be so mad. Doink.
Whoops.
My bad.
Milt's not so happy in the studio right now. Kendall Lawrence left side. Looks like he will get a new set of downs here. It's a first down for him, a 13-yard scoot.
13-yard gain, first down.
Here's what Wallace had to say. Lawrence stuffed this time. Those things happen. You ever had any kind of those plays backfield like that? Maybe not like that one.
Well, you get beaten on a block, yes, but you gotta stay alive until you hear the whistle, right? Gotta keep playing until you hear the whistle.
Henry Burris is one of those kind of guys. Probably the next sequence that comes out, he might go to Wallace Miles just to get his confidence back. See what happens. 6 minutes to go before halftime. A month ago, Ottawa led 7-2 at the half. Riley again, loads of time. Nate Kuhorn makes the catch. Short of a first down. Speaking of Milt Stiegel, that's why Nate Kuhorn wears 85. They're his hero. Short of a first down. There he is, the former star at Calgary. The Dinos. The speedster is back. And Shaw, end over end. Jamil Smith makes one miss. Picks up maybe 4 or 5, just over the 20-yard line. Well, Dwayne Ford, before Penguin, Catwoman, and Batman, there was Gotham. Witnessed the origins of the infamous city that gave birth to the greatest supervillains and darkest vigilante. Gotham. Mondays, this fall on CTV.
You sound a little excited about that one. Big Batman fan? Shinetti's a big Batman fan.
Oh, yes, he is. Shinetti could be Batman. Matthew on the sideline, Rob Black, Dwayne Ford with you tonight. TD Place Stadium, Wendy's Friday Night Football. Not a lot of big plays so far.
Defense is holding tough so far in this ball game. Some opportunities offensively for both of these football clubs. But neither team really able to finish drives or sustain drives successfully in this ballgame.
A red-black team that has really struggled with consistency and an offense. When you think about all of the things and accolades that Henry Burris has done, an offense that ranks last or near last in almost every category. This expansion franchise needing to pick it up. Play action, some blocking now, and going left side is Carlton Mitchell, and he fumbled the football but got it back and hung on to it. Between his knees it looked like for a moment. First down, one of the Red Blacks' biggest plays. 15-yard gain.
Carlton Mitchell selected in that expansion draft. Again, big target, getting an opportunity to play. Kieri Johnson had been the guy playing most of the snaps at that spot early in the season. He went down, opening the door. The bigger Mitchell. We saw Odell Willis track him down on that one.
You and I had a chance to chat with Odell before the game. He was amped up as usual, as only Odell, one of the great characters in this game, was. He was talking about spending the last week or so, the 9 days on the road. They were in Montreal and stayed out east. And this team actually had a chance to go to the Parliament buildings. He said that was neat. He's gone to the White House before. He went to the Parliament buildings here. He's off to another great start. He's really enjoyed his time in Ottawa. Had never been here before.
Enjoying his time in Ottawa and his time under new head coach Chris Jones as well.
Always a factor. Burris pump fake and over the middle. Oh, what a hit. Big jolt there. And Rhea Jones' first catch as a Red Black. That one had to hurt. 3-minute warning. As he gets McCoiled in Ottawa. Coming up in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Rod and Schultze, Matty and Milt, and Paul Lapalisse in the GMC Coaches Playbook. Talking about maybe some of those drops by some of the receivers here tonight. Hasn't exactly been an electrifying first half, but defenses have been solid. Edmonton bringing in one of the best Ds in the CFL. Night that has turned pretty pleasant, more like an October night though. A little cool tonight here in Ottawa. Sold out again. Jamal Miles is going backwards. That's not the way you want to go. Jasper Simmons. Penalty flag down back at the 34. It's so good. This is our first time to get to TD Place Stadium. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, this is absolutely fantastic. To me, Ottawa has always been a great CFL city, a great football city as well, and you're seeing it. And the players recognize it. The Edmonton guys said it to a man. Really enjoying their time here in Ottawa. Happy to have this city back in the league.
Fabulous stadium. They've done a great job here.
Illegal block. Edmonton number 90. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Eskimos have not had great field position, but you know they're not done here yet. You can see some of the construction still going on. They have condos and an entertainment complex coming. So kind of like the team, this place is under construction.
Yeah, it is. It's a work in progress for sure, but it's going to be absolutely fantastic when it's done.
It is so good to be back in Ottawa and have the CFL back in the nation's capital. REDBLACKS lead 8-4. Kendall Lawrence wrestled down by Brandon Lang. 4-yard pickup.
You see those those REDBLACKS players, feeding off the Ottawa crowd here.
There is not an empty seat in this place. They've been waiting for a while to have their team back. Used to be the Rough Riders, of course, so historic, and then the Renegades had a short-lived, almost infamous stay here. The third home game. They've got one win at home against the Argos. Mike Riley batted down and almost picked off. And this red-black defense, who said it, feeding like sharks tonight.
Great stretch here. It all starts with the Eskimos in very bad field position. And the defense takes advantage of them, knowing that they're a little bit limited here. You see where Riley's looking. There's his passing lane. But Zach Evans keeps fighting into that lane, gets the hand up. Former Saskatchewan Rough Rider bats it down.
Bradshaw does not take the safety, boots it out. Jamil Smith. So this Ottawa defense has come to play. Keep in mind they came in giving up more yards and points than any other team in the CFL against the best defense and against a team that has also put up more points than any other team in the CFL. So far, so good. Again, the problem with the REDBLACKS, they haven't been able to play 60 minutes of football.
No, and as well as that, just taking advantage of all of their opportunities, finishing drives when they have the field position, take advantage of it when they make big plays, as we've seen a couple times here tonight.
6 receivers. A little slant pattern and a head fake. And that was a big hit. Carlton Mitchell.
Eddie Steele, Rennie Curran, Armando Sewell, the guys in the middle of that defense. You see them flowing out to the perimeter to make the play from that hitch screen to Mitchell.
Armando Sewell almost decapitated Mitchell. Wicked jolt.
Yeah, Armando Sewell, absolute force in the interior of this Eskimo D-line.
6 sacks on the season. No sacks by the Eskimos yet tonight. Burris, very close to being picked off.
Yeah, not sure what Hank saw on that one.
Middle linebacker Rennie Curran had his mitts on it.
Rennie Curran starts right in the middle of that screen. He's going to demonstrate a little bit of his range on this one. Quarterback looking left. Rennie Curran's flowing left. see Curran, one of about 5 Eskimo defenders surrounding the Ottawa receiver there.
Rennie Curran, that would have been a touchdown had he been able to hang on. Floating kick. Maher and Jamal Miles is rocked on a 46-yard boot. And the veteran J-Pot downfield, Jason Pottinger, making the special teams tackle, his 6th on the season.
Well, Jason Pottinger making an impact however he can. Former number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2006. Looked upon it to be one of the veteran leaders. This Ottawa team doing a pretty good job there. Kick covered.
Again, long field for the Eskimos. They haven't got their offense in rhythm yet. Riley has protection again. Sends Lawrence out of the backfield. Double teamed on the far side. Jermaine Robinson in on the tackle.
Well, we've seen a lot of catches made by the Eskimo backs, especially Lawrence, thus far in this ball game. But I'll tell you what, if you're Ottawa's defensive coordinator, Mark Nelson, you're okay with those short catches being made by the running backs rather than big plays being made by Darius Bowman. Mark Nelson, a guy with pretty good Edmonton roots himself.
Kind of followed Rick Campbell around as well. There's a first down, Shamon Chambers. Mike Riley threads the needle.
Mark Nelson, former CFL linebacker himself. His father, Rogers Nelson, also a former CFLer with the Edmonton Eskimos. And under the new classification of national players or qualification, his son, Kyle, tight end and long snapper, currently in the NFL, will now qualify as a national. So we could see him playing up here in the CFL as well one day.
Mike Riley takes it himself. Will goal himself. His first run of the night is a big one. Riley down the sideline. And Mike Riley takes off for the first time tonight.
We saw Mike Riley in a battle against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers early in the season. Things weren't moving here. That one little fake out to A.J. Guyton in the flat got Jarrell Gavins to turn his back and opened up a little bit of a lane there for Riley to turn it up. But we've seen him put this team on his back before.
Longest run of the season for Riley, 31-yarder. He's a guy who averages 7.6 yards a scamper as Kendall Lawrence gets the pitch. But Riley, last time these teams met, had 48 rushing yards. It was talked about before the season began about Riley last year and getting banged up, not wanting to get hurt, that he would be a smarter runner and choose his spots a little more effectively. That was a great choice that time. Second down and 5. Key one here. Final 20 seconds of the first half. Riley goes deep. Darius Bowman battling downfield with Jarrell Gavins. We're talking about a scrap between receiver and defender. This is a good one.
Yeah, Jarrell Gavins given up a couple of inches, but he has demonstrated week in and week out here in his young CFL career. This is a guy who is willing to take on the best, backs down from no challenge. And there did a pretty nice job against one of the best in the business in a Darius Bowman.
Branshaw's coming up with 12 seconds to go in the half. Earlier made from 39. He's made 11 in a row. This one puts his streak in jeopardy. His longest of the season. 43-yarder. This has plenty of leg. It is wide though. And Jamil Smith brings it out. He's got a couple blocks here. Smith is sprung. And the final play of the first half. Missed field goal by Shaw. No points. Not many points on the board here. Shades of Edmonton in July. When the Red Blacks led 7-2, they lead 8-4. Let's go back to the studio now.
It's Friday night football, yeah! Boys are all here, gonna put on the show.
Similar to 3 weeks ago, Ottawa led 7-2 heading to the second half. They lead 8-4 in their home park tonight. Here's Edmonton head coach Chris Jones with Matthew Shinetti.
Coach, what's your overall assessment of your defense after the first half?
Well, we didn't play very well in all three phases. Too many penalties, too many big plays defensively, and we can't sustain drives offensively.
And offensively, what are the adjustments you think you have to make?
Well, we've got to be able to run the football. We've got to catch footballs. We can't continually take penalties in the special teams.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
So Dwayne Ford for Rick Campbell. His team leads, but look at this. Edmonton's been a second half ball club all season so far. Ottawa has not.
And this is something obviously that has to change, and I know especially in the fourth quarter, this Ottawa team has had some trouble closing out games. Minus 36 is actually their number for the fourth quarter of ball games. Edmonton a plus 28 in the final frame.
We'll see how it plays out here tonight. Mike Riley and his Eskimos looking to go to 6-1. Brett Maher to kick off our third quarter here. TD Place Stadium. It's Jamal Miles who has a seam and is still on his feet up near the 40. His best return in this game so far. So Riley will bring his offense. Again, they score more points than any other team in the CFL, but only 4 on the board. No majors tonight yet.
No, but you never know with Mike Riley. This is a guy who will do whatever it takes to help his team win a football game. We talked to him about this yesterday. He really doesn't care what his stats are throwing the football. All he cares is what the scoreboard says at the end of the ball game.
And he doesn't care series to series. He's got a very short memory, good or bad. Comes right back at you. Sign of a great quarterback. A.J. Guyton, his first catch of the night. As Mike Riley tries to spread it out. Heard Chris Jones talk about running the football a little more. You might think that maybe even Mike Riley might take off a couple of more times to open up some passing lanes.
Well, you got to think that Mike Riley planted a little bit of a seed in the minds of this Ottawa defense with that long scamper late in the first half when he managed to break contain. He's able to do a little bit of that. He can get this defense to spread out a little bit and perhaps open up some holes between the tackles for Kendall Lawrence.
We'll see if they go to a Darius Bowman a little more. No catches yet tonight. Riley looking for Bowman. And again, a penalty flag in the backfield near the 22-yard line. Riley was belted as he threw the football, slow to get up.
Major foul, roughing a passer. Ottawa, number 75. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Former Argo and Lion Jonathan Williams is the guilty party.
And Jonathan Williams coming from that defensive tackle spot. Justin Capicotti coming with him. Lowering the boom on Mike Riley after the ball is gone here.
Oh, boy, one hit from one side and the other side as well. Looked like he got a shot to the head. It'll be interesting to see if this guy and Darius Bowman connect soon. Bowman had 9 catches for 140 and 3 touchdowns in their last meeting. Riley is in trouble, and he is sacked. Travis Brown was flying in and probably did the right thing by avoiding that scrum.
Yeah, good decision by Travis Brown, the middle linebacker, and quite frankly, good decision by the official to blow the whistle when they did to protect Mike Riley.
That says everything you need to know about Mike Riley, though. A lot of quarterbacks would have gone down in a heap, would have gone down a lot earlier. This guy is a warrior.
And now this all begins with Antoine Pruneau, the rookie linebacker, coming off the edge. Kendall Lawrence picks him up, but Pruneau gets enough of him that he sort of bounces him back a little bit and keeps his momentum going towards Riley.
Riley throwing again. Pocket closes. Lawrence on the outside. Penalty flag again. And once again, Riley is helped up off the turf. And a little woozy to get up again.
Well, this was a kind of a nasty low hit. I think it was Jonathan Williams again. Caught him right around the knees.
Major foul, roughing a passer. Ottawa, number 75. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Jonathan Williams has cost his team 30 yards in this drive. Yes, they have punished Mike Riley, who is now coming to the sideline, but at a very high cost, penalty yardage.
A nice rush from Williams, but
saw that knee kind of buckle. Pat White comes in, and White goes up the middle. A drive that could have stalled back near the Edmonton 45 is now down near the 20 of Ottawa.
And we always talk about the strike zone, right? That area, knees to shoulders, is where you're safe to hit. Jonathan Williams, just a little bit low on that one.
Riley is still on the sideline. And a penalty flag. The first down is attained. Let's see what this call is on the far side. Mike Riley absorbing some punishment. And he's going back in.
Offside, Edmonton, number 4. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So it'll be second down and 7. Riley back in the huddle.
Well, Mike Riley proved last season that not only can he take some punishment, but he is more than willing
to dish it out too. Seventh play of the drive, aided by some roughing calls. Riley though, pocket closing again. Kuhorn far side has a first down. That pocket keeps closing on Mike Riley, and right at the very last moment is able to deliver the football to Kuhorn for another first down, 10-yard gain.
Now this is a real nice job by the running back, Kendall Lawrence. Remember just a couple minutes ago, Antoine Pruneau kind of caught him with the bull rush. Well, here you see the big block. Snapping the head back on the rookie linebacker. That time Kendall Lawrence brought it. And this is going to give Mike Riley time to make that first down throw.
To the red zone they go. Play action. Riley just pitches it out to Guyton. Chopped out of bounds. 8-yard pickup. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, real good first down production there from the Edmonton Eskimos to get into that second and short situation. Create some options offensively here.
Devin Bailey comes out. Calvin McCarty brings a play in. There he is. See if they utilize him here. Lawrence in the backfield with Riley. 2nd and 2. Eskimos have not been able to find the end zone tonight. Look to McCarty. Mike Riley forward will have the first down. It'll be 1st and goal. For a moment there, it looked like he had pay dirt.
Nice execution here. You're going to see that play action. The running back, Kendall Lawrence. And then everybody's looking out in the flat at Calvin McCarty. Remember, we've seen all these throws to the running back, so people bite on that. That end's got to keep contained Brandon Lang, so he's got to stay outside Mike Riley. Riley knows it. Takes advantage of that by ducking up to the inside.
Well, they bring in the jumbo package here. Mike Riley. Look at who's in the backfield. Oh, look out. Is it a fumble? It is. Ottawa says they have the football. We'll wait for the signal. Mondo Sewell was lined up in the backfield. Miscommunication on the snap, of all things. Still no call. And there it is. The REDBLACKS have the football. And once again, the Eskimos can't find the end zone. Bad snap. Ottawa football.
Some short yardage issues here for the Edmonton Eskimos. Mike Riley trying to take the snap. The ball doesn't get up to him. It's a little low, but then as he's trying to recover it, you've also got the right guard, Simeon Rotier, trying to pull out of there. Now watch from the left side. Simeon Rotier's pulling. So he basically runs into Riley as Riley's crouching down to try and pick up that football. The end result, REDBLACKS ball.
At their own 2-yard line, so they prevent another major. Henry Burris pulls it back, and he throws it away, and he has it picked off. Marcel Young, touchdown! was belted as he threw the football. I am not sure this is going to count.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton 99, horse collar tackle. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Willie Jefferson.
Willie Jefferson just let Henry Burris off the hook with this one coming from that two-point stance. He's in there on Henry Burris in a hurry. Now Burris makes a good decision to throw it away, a bad decision with where he throws it. This one's just got to get over the line and out of bounds, but you see that right hand up on the back of the collar.
Objectional conduct. Edmonton, number 41. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, just as Ottawa piled up some penalties, the Eskimos are now. Odell Willis just took an objectionable conduct penalty, and this gives the Red Blacks instant field position from the 2-yard line. And what would have been a pick six is now out at the 27.5-yard line. Look at the penalties against the Eskimos tonight. And they're losing their cool. Javon Walker right side. And he's got a first down, his best run of the night. 12-yard pickup for Javon Walker.
You get the sense that Javon Walker and the Ottawa offensive line have caught the Eskimos front back on their heels and reeling a little bit, just trying to recover after the exchange that occurred on the last play, the back-to-back penalties that completely swung the field position here. We'll take another look back at that. Willie Jefferson from the left side of your screen. The key is his right hand as he pulls Burris down, pulls him down by the back of the collar.
Right in front of Ken Murphy, slant pattern, and another first down.
With those two penalties on one play, Edmonton just handed Ottawa a whole lot of momentum here, partner.
Marcus Henry, who has been the hottest receiver in the CFL the last 3 weeks, second catch of the night. Moves the ball up near the 54-yard line.
A nice job there by Marcus Henry. When he catches the ball, he knows the defender's coming straight upfield at him, so he gets off of that spot. He doesn't just turn directly, but moves laterally before he turns to avoid that defender.
After a rather benign first half, lots of swings and momentum here. Burris, down he goes. Triple teamed, and he's brought down. Cameron Sheffield was there initially. So too, Otha Foster.
Well, you often see the fullback, John Delahunt, sneak out into the flat, even on some downfield routes, and will often end up uncovered because teams don't account for him as a receiver, only as a blocker. But here, Edmonton does a real good job within that space, taking Delahunt away. As a result, Henry Burris doesn't have that easy throw and has to eat the ball.
First sack by the Eskimos tonight. And the whistles blow. Eskimos came into this week second in the CFL in sacks behind the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Red Blacks have 3 sacks.
Procedure. Ottawa, number 50. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Well, second down and way long here for the Red Blacks. Still a lot better than where they were a few moments ago, back at their 2-yard line. Potentially giving up an interception for a touchdown. There are the moments in these games for this expansion team that games get away from the Red Blacks. Can't sustain momentum. Over the top. Now blocking help. Walker will get back to the initial line of scrimmage near the midfield stripe. And that's all. They'll have to boot it away.
This has been a little bit of the trend for Ottawa in this ball game, where we've seen some big plays. This time the big plays came courtesy of penalties, but unable to capitalize from those big plays. We saw a big pass to Matt Carter in the first half, big catch and run by Wallace Miles, but very little to show for it for this team.
Maher angles, Jamal Miles. Great coverage downfield. Miles though is finally brought down by Maher at the 43-yard line when it looked like he was going to be caught at the 10. Good return by him. Mike Riley. His team still have yet to find the end zone. Eskimos down 8-4 with 6:19 to go in the third. Earlier tonight, the Purolator Tackle Hunger program made its way. The drive here in the nation's capital this week. Lots of food. The cup in the house. A chance to get a picture taken with it. Big John. Joe. And you can support your local food bank every time Purolator Tackle Hunger comes to town. Raise a lot of money. And a penalty flag as Guyton was knocked out of bounds. Right in front of the officials again.
At the end of the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Ottawa number 31. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Jasper Simmons. A lot of these penalties, by the way, that we're seeing are also coming right in front of the officials.
Yeah. Here you see Simmons makes the contact. You just got to
hold off.
Yeah, like he's on the white line. It was initially Reggie Jones that had him, rode him out of bounds. He's standing on the line when Simmons comes and makes that hit, and they're giving the Eskimos field position back between a poor punt cover and now a penalty.
7 15-yard penalties in this game. Riley rolling out to McCarty, wrapped up. Good tackle on the far side. Coverage there from the Ottawa REDBLACKS, who came into tonight with 17 sacks. The Eskimos at 24. The next drive, by the way, is next week in Winnipeg. Purolator tackling Hunger across Canada. Check.
Justin Capicati with a couple of sacks the last 2 weeks for these REDBLACKS. Another former Eskimo.
Second and 5. Low snap. Riley can take off with it. He'll get the first down easily. And stays in to get even a few more yards. Again, a lot of guys would just step out of bounds. Riley alertly stays in bounds for a couple more.
Well, Mike Riley makes good from bad here. A little bit of trouble with that exchange. It comes back low. But you look, nothing but open space out to that left side of the field. No one's got contained. Maybe a little wrestling match here. Shamad Chambers might have gotten away with one, but give the receiver credit for making an effort to make a block downfield.
Eskimos driving again. Down 4. Under 5 to go. Play action. Riley now will toss it away. Closest receiver was Sean Gott on the sidelines. The Ottawa REDBLACKS center. Riley just tossing that away. Jarius Jackson, the Eskimos quarterback coach. Former quarterback in the CFL for many years. And he spent in BC with the Lions.
Jarius joins this coaching staff largely due to his ties from a year spent as the Argos backup quarterback. Chris Jones was an assistant coach there.
Second down again. Riley looks one way. Now goes up the middle. And Devin Bailey is pushed back. Got to give the Ottawa REDBLACKS defense a lot of credit here tonight. Again, a defense that came in giving up the most yardage. They were worst against the pass, second worst against the run. Completely different defensive look here tonight against one of the most dynamic offenses in the league.
Yeah, and one of the things that stands out certainly is the level of energy with which they're playing the game. They've got some great young guys out on the field. Obviously, Antoine Pruneau, the first-round pick this season. Played for Danny Machocha, University of Montreal.
Bradshaw, 1 of 2. He missed from 50. This is more within his range on the 28-yard line. And he will put that through and makes this a 1-point game. REDBLACK attack here tonight. Mike Riley feeling it. Devin Bailey feeling it. Just 15 points scored in this game. Back at TD Place Stadium in Ottawa, where the Red Blacks lead is now 1 against Chris Jones and the Eskimos. Down to the sideline once again, Matthew Shannon.
Guys, we've already talked about how the Eskimos and the theme with the team is accountability. So Chris Jones actually brought something from his time with Toronto as their defensive coordinator to the classroom with Edmonton. He usually brings players up to the front of the class in the defense and has them go ahead and talk about not just their responsibility, but the responsibility of guys in other positions. When I asked Rennie Curran about it, he said, we're still doing it here, and I love it, because it makes us much like a playmaker kind of defense. If I know what my responsibility is and what other guys' responsibilities are, then I don't have to worry about doing their job. I can just do my job, and I can go full tilt. Guys.
Rennie Curran in on that tackle. He is the world's most interesting linebacker, is he not? He is an accomplished musician. He plays the drums, the piano, the viola. He's written a book called Free Agent about his time spent in the National Football League up to Canada and the CFL. Henry Burris on 2nd and 4, and again another pass dropped. This time it was Matt Carter. 4th dropped pass by Red Blacks receivers tonight.
Well, Carter might have banked a little bit of credit here based on that phenomenal catch he made in the first half, but those are the ones you've got to have. Absolutely got to have. That's another play where Henry Burris stood in, took a hit, taking a bit of a shot from Odell Willis on that one to stand in and make a throw.
Well, especially on 2nd down, which has been a concern. Maher, nice line drive shot back down to Jamal Miles. This time they got him at the 30. 1-point ball game right now. Mike Riley and the Edmonton Eskimos back on the field under 3 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the drops continue to plague the Ottawa Red Blacks. This goes back to the 1st quarter. Marcus Henry had one. Henry Jones had another that would have been a touchdown most recently. Matt Carter wide open underneath. Just missed opportunities for this Ottawa team, and I spent a long time yesterday chatting with Travis Moore, their receivers coach, and he talked a lot about this, just the need for these guys to spend more time catching the football, get on the jugs machine, get with the young quarterbacks, throw the ball to each other, but it's just going to be repetitions, catch the ball, catch the ball, catch the ball. It becomes a much more natural thing for you, and it sounds silly to say about receivers at this level.
Tyler Thomas is into the game. Thomas not getting many reps here tonight, with Kendall Lawrence taking the bulk of the work. Again, no John White for the Eskimos tonight. You talked about the receiving problems, the drop footballs. I mean, that's just a highlight or low light pack of tonight. That extends back a few games, as you mentioned. Something the Ottawa Red Blacks have to clean up. Imagine what their record might be like if they could hang on to the football. 2nd and 6 Eskimos. Riley looks one way, goes the other. Darius Bowman, his first catch comes with just over 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And a month ago, he had 9 catches and 3 touchdowns against this same Ottawa team. 9-yard gain, 1st down.
You see the Eskimos trying to do what they've got to do to get Darius Bowman open. Number 4, the CFL's leading receiver coming into this ball game. Using he and Shamad Chambers in that stack to try and create a little bit of space. We credit Mark Nelson's defense for limiting the damage done by Darius Bowman.
Tyler Thomas, a battering ram helmet first out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. A small Bacone College. Tyler Thomas.
Thomas, a guy who bounced around a little bit, started off his college career at Eastern Michigan, moved on to Ferris State before finishing up at Bacone.
NAIA school. Only player out of Bacone to ever make it as a professional football player. Play action, slant pattern, and a fumble. But they whistle it down. Kuhorn looked like he was down. Kuhorn 9-yard reception. Whistles had blown. Clearly looked like he was down.
Yeah, good reaction by the Red Blacks to keep playing. Jermaine Robinson in on it, and that knee is down before the ball is popped loose.
See how Coulthorne was just ripping that football to hang on. Everybody trying to strip the other player of the ball right now. Defense is dominating. Final play, third quarter. Well, we'll have one more because of this penalty. Ottawa had a head start, it looked like. But it's procedure against the Eskimos.
Procedure. Edmonton, number 66. 5-yard penalty, remains first down. We'll have one more play remaining.
No touchdowns tonight. Loads of penalties. Miscues. And a game really devoid of any big plays. Makes you wonder what's in store for the fourth quarter. Will they finally be able to turn it up here? Very stingy ball game. Thomas left side. Fumbled the football. Jonathan Williams has it. The third turnover by the Eskimos comes on the final play of the third quarter. The Red Blacks, however, have not scored any points, and the Prime Minister enjoying this one tonight.
The middle linebacker, Travis Brown in on the hit. Williams with the recovery.
Canada's biggest boss applauds that. Well, the numbers bear it out. Very low-scoring game. Look at those 3 turnovers by the Eskimos. Very uncharacteristic, but you always have an apropos way of describing plays and analyzing what we've seen so far. How would you best describe what we've seen through 45 minutes here tonight?
Well, the word ugly comes to mind a little bit. I mean, I'm a guy who spent my whole career playing offense.
It's still compelling,
a tight defensive struggle. But yeah, but the ugliness, as we were talking about, has been well-timed from a dramatic sense. I mean, turnovers coming at key times and so on. That there's been a pretty decent storyline here, I think, for an Ottawa team that came into this game having lost its last couple because of turnovers, and now doing a very good job winning the turnover battle, and now trying to win a fourth quarter.
Something they have not been able to do. Only once this season against the Toronto Argonauts, their one victory came here at home. To Siobhan Walker. The problem with the Ottawa Red Blacks in the fourth quarter has been their own cleats. They've got a lot of bullet holes in them. They've imploded many times.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of that goes along with, you don't necessarily want to use the word youth to describe this this team, because there are some veteran guys, but some inexperience at key spots in terms of guys that you rely on in terms of making plays.
Red Blacks more success on second downs tonight. That's a rarity for them this season. And Walker gets drilled on a great read by Odell Willis.
And Jarrell McCullough out there in that left tackle spot is the guy trying to deal with Odell Willis, but when number 41 comes to play, he is absolutely a handful. And he's just going to crash. Right off that end, beats him to the inside, takes a chance. McCullough anticipating that Willis is going to be the contained guy. We file that one away for a bootlegger zone read type look for Henry Burris a little later.
Interesting to note, Kendall Lawrence is back, not Jamal Miles for this punt. For Maher, Miles was shaken up on the last return, so Lawrence handles the duties this time, and he has nowhere to go. There are lots of football left here. Who will blink first? A one-pointer on Wendy's Friday Night Football. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Early fourth quarter here tonight in Ottawa. The Red Blacks lead the visiting Edmonton Eskimos 8-7. a touchdownless football game so far. In fact, the Red Blacks have only scored one touchdown into their third game at home in their existence. Quick hitter. And that seems to be Nate Kuhorn territory right now, that pattern. And Kuhorn looks like he got a shot there to the rib area.
Looked like Antoine Pruneau was there holding him up. A few other Ottawa defenders swarmed to the ball.
Story tonight has been the Ottawa defense. Off the charts here. And a big stop again, and another great play. There's a Darius Bowman. His biggest play tonight, pushed out of bounds by Jasper Simmons. So Bowman, who has been pretty much muzzled tonight, picks up 21.
Well, this is what Ottawa had largely managed to avoid in the early portion of this football game, is the big play. Not letting a Darius Bowman get the big play, but here, a missed tackle out on the edge allows Bowman to turn that into his biggest gain of the game thus far.
Darius Bowman changed the game back on July 11th with 3 touchdowns. The game the Red Blacks led to the second half. Then it was all Eskimos. Riley again, tight spiral. Kuhorn wide open. And another first down. And here's the danger for this Red Black D, which has not been good against the pass. In fact, last in the CFL, not good against the run, but for the most part tonight have silenced Mike Riley and the Eskimos.
And this one, give Mike Riley credit. Progressing through his reads, he sees the wide side wide out there with the D laying way off from a ton of space. He's got time to get the ball out there and pick up a couple after the catch as well.
5 catches for Nate Kuhorn. Most dangerous receiver so far. There's Bowman. In some traffic now, and a Darius Bowman starting to turn it up. 3 catches, all coming in the second half. 16-yard gain.
Nice combination of routes here is what's going to free up Darius Bowman on this one, especially when you watch for the running back, Calvin McCarty. He comes out here, and what that is ultimately going to do for Bowman, it's going to pull a defender out of there and open up a window in the middle to thread that ball through.
Bowman's now a factor in this ballgame. Riley's looking his way again. Now he has to go the other way. Mike Riley will take it himself and spins and takes a shot as he was going down and dropped at the 30-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. 54 rush yards now for Mike Riley.
Classic Mike Riley run. Crashing, banging, doing whatever it takes. Trying to fight his way up to that first down marker.
Kind of hold your breath a little bit, though, when Mike Riley takes off, don't you?
He's proven to be pretty durable. He and Henry Burris leading the CFL in starts over the last 2 seasons.
Pulls it back. There he goes again, and Riley carries Brandon Lang down to the 20-yard line and picks up another first down. Good drive here by the Eskimos, one of their best of the night.
And here you'll see the play action. He's going to fake the handoff to Kendall Lawrence in the backfield, and you see ends starting to pinch on both sides. Mike Riley reads that. He knows he can slip around the outside, pick up a couple of yards.
Some very good play calling. This chess match going on in this drive for the Eskimos. They load up the box. Here they come. Riley's in trouble. There he goes again, and he has to go down. That time, the Red Blacks were coming.
Yeah, they brought the free safety, Eddie Elder, off the front side. He's the guy that's going to show up in Mike Riley's face on this one. See, safety comes, number 5 from the left side of your screen. That forces Riley to adjust and start rolling left. Pretty good job by the backside of that defense to swallow him up.
Here's one of the biggest second downs of this ballgame. Red Blacks trying to hold the Eskimos to a possible field goal attempt. Second down and 10. lunges. This will likely require a measurement. It'll be a 9-yard gain. It looks like they'll be about a full yard shy.
There's the offensive coordinator, Steve McAdoo, longtime offensive line coach in this league. May contribute to a little bit of his commitment to the run game here, but he's done a nice job setting up the plays for Mike Riley and the troops to roll down the field on this particular drive.
White is in. 3rd and 1. Crowd amps it up. White behind center. He'll go right side. Dangerous call here. White. Will he get there? Fumble the football. It will all depend on the spot. And from here, it looks like it could be a favorable spot for a first down, but Pat White went wide and was lucky, if he gets the first down, that he got out there.
Yeah, Ottawa does a pretty decent job stringing things out.
They didn't make it by a sliver.
Doesn't get any closer than that.
Boy, you have to think about that call too, going wide on a 3rd down. A drive that was engineered almost to perfection results in the 4th Eskimo turnover of the night at the worst possible time.
And one of the key plays in the ball game, and I'll tell you, one thing I don't like in short yardage is when there's nobody left in the backfield, because now the only ball carrier that Ottawa has to defend is the quarterback. They just got to mirror Pat White. White starts rolling, they start stringing it out because there was nothing to defend on the inside. Antoine Pruneau,
who was hurt and then saw the measurement, fist pumps.
Yeah, he was in on that tackle.
Good young ball player.
Oh, he sure is.
Number 4 overall in this year's draft. So 4 Eskimo turnovers. Still only a 1-point game. Burris goes over the top. Once again finds ex-Esk Matt Carter. Crazy game this one though. The Edmonton Eskimos have had 2 opportunities inside the red zone and have turned the ball over. This was earlier. Keep in mind, on this drive, they ate up 5 minutes plus on the clock.
Yeah, to come away with nothing. That fumble didn't go to the short yardage unit on that one. Mike Riley stayed in on that one, but it was just an issue that where the snap didn't get up.
And up the middle, 2nd and 2, first down. The other drive, the drive they just had where they also gave it up, that took up 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
And the heading sums it up. Nothing but time. That's all they had to show for it. Ate up a lot of time of possession, but no points for getting down that close.
11 minutes time of possession, which the Eskimos lead the CFL in. But the Ottawa REDBLACKS win their 2nd game at home, and like the first, without a touchdown. It started to look that way. Walker on first down, nowhere to go. You would think with a quarterback with the experience of a Henry Burris and some of the weapons he has that, you know, you would find the end zone from time to time, but their win over the Argonauts, Brett Maher did all the kicking, all the scoring. He's done all the kicking and scoring tonight. Under 6 to go. REDBLACKS desperate for their 2nd win as a franchise. Man rush. Burris steps up now. Nobody there. Burris will go down. Tough to find anybody home. And there goes the boys of Somersault. There's a penalty flag on the far side of the field. Might have been a premature celebration.
This is going to negate The second down stop, I believe.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton, number 6, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Alonzo Lawrence, the perpetrator, takes away a sack. Another 15 yards piled on here tonight.
And this is a flag, an infraction that occurred well away from the ball. It wasn't part of the tackle. It was defensive linemen that were all over Burris.
Well, the Eskimos, another gift here for the Red Blacks. Look out now, Carlton Mitchell is tripped up as Alonzo Lawrence gets some redemption.
That play was just a little bit too slow to develop from an Ottawa perspective, and that gave Alonzo Lawrence plenty of time to react and come down and make a play right at the line of scrimmage. Watch for Mitchell coming right to left on your screen. There's Lawrence to meet him before he can really even get his head turned around to look.
Another key second down here. Time ticking down. Flag and offside here. Matt Carter makes the catch. Looked like Red Blacks may have moved on the line a little bit. Did they draw the Eskimos or did they move? We'll see. A 12-yard gain. It's against Edmonton. And it's offside.
Offside. Edmonton, number 90. Penalty is declined. First down.
Mondo Sewell. This trip to the east began so well in Montreal, not looking so good right now for Chris Jones and the Eskimos.
Sewell twitched a little bit on the inside on that one. There was a lot of motion to his left, but on his side of the formation with the receivers setting up to try and pin things inside.
There's a slip pattern, and the catch is made. Once again, it's Marcus Henry inside Edmonton territory. So this drive that was basically kept alive by penalties, finally positive offensive play for the Red Blacks.
Big Marcus Henry, big target, 6'4", 220 pounds on the inside. Guy who has become Henry Burris's go-to receiver.
Jayhawk, drafted by the Jets in the NFL. Burris, strong arm, far side, Carter, swings one, he fumbled the football, and the Eskimos have it. Can you believe it? Another momentum turn. What a crazy game here tonight. Just when the Red Blacks had their biggest offensive play of the night, they give it right back. Their first turnover of the game.
Well, this is a play where Ottawa does everything right except the ending. Number one is the first option. That's going to be Marcus Henry. He gets taken away. Henry Burris makes a great read as two guys collapse short on Henry. Alonzo Lawrence tries to jump in to help. He gets it to Carter. Makes a nice move initially, but he's got to protect that football, tuck it against your body as it gets punched out by the trailing defender, Alonzo Lawrence. The Eskimos come up with the recovery.
Alonzo Lawrence knows how to make amends, does he not? Pump fake. Riley, deep, sideline. Bowman caught. Mike Riley shows his gun. Dion Lacey with that fumble recovery could be the TSN turning point in this ball game. Just when the Red Blacks looked like they were going to score, now here come the Eskimos. And look out for number 4. He killed the Red Blacks a month ago. Big catch here. 3-minute warning on the field, 1-point game. Wendy's Friday Night Football is brought to you by Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Cheeseburger and Pretzel Pump Chicken. Back for a limited time. Wendy's. Now that's better. What has been a topsy-turvy ball game. either side, able to find the end zone. Number of turnovers costly. Mike Riley, play action again, far sideline again, Bowman again. 22-yarder, then a 12-yarder.
So many parts of the first 3 quarters of this ball game have followed the same script as the earlier meeting between these two teams. The Ottawa REDBLACKS hoping to write a different ending, but Darius Bowman has become an increasingly significant presence in the last few minutes of this game.
And shut out in the first half. 3 touchdowns a month ago. 5 now, all in the second half. And a 22-yarder in this drive, and now a 12-yarder. Riley's looking over the top. Here comes the rush. He's Shulligan in pursuit. And Antoine Pruneau again, and Riley fights his way for another first down. This guy won't go down. Antoine Pruneau had a great shot, and so did Shulligan. Could not chase down Mike Riley.
He thought for a second about taking this shot down the wide side. You'll see him look that way to Nate Kuhorn, but then he sees a free safety, Eddie Elder, run over the top. And that's when he decides to pull it down. There you see Elder go, it gets taken away, and that's when the pressure comes, and Riley's got to run. It worked out just fine for him.
71 yards rushing now for Mike Riley in this game. Undercover. Will he take off again? There he goes, and he's sandwiched just past the line of scrimmage. So it'll be another critical second down. Under 2 minutes to go. And 1 point Ottawa lead.
Well, when you talk about this defense being bend but don't break, having given up some yards, Edmonton having been in scoring position a couple times before Ottawa created some turnovers. This is now the point in this ball game as we've reached the 2-minute stage, and all it takes for Edmonton is a field goal. This is the point at which they cannot break. This is the critical time for Ottawa. They can't let them get any more yardage here.
This is well beyond Branshaw's range. Keep in mind, Shaw already missed tonight from 50. Crowd on its feet in full throttle. 4-man rush. Riley. And another first down by a Darius Bowman, the red-black killer.
Well, they've gotten a Darius Bowman out at that short side wide receiver spot a lot here in the second half of this ball game. And from there, he seems to be making some plays. Obviously, Reggie Jones, a first-year CFLer, has a ton of respect for Bowman. And he's making sure he keeps him in front of him. So there's been nothing that's been over the top to Bowman, but he's been able to pick away a little bit by pressing deep, coming back to the football to gain chunks of yardage.
Time ticking down to 1:22. Riley now has some time as well to put it into range and to maybe seal it for Shaw. Out of the backfield, and dodging a tackle is Lawrence. Kendall Lawrence has 9. 1:07 to go. Now well within Shaw's range.
A real nice effort there from Kendall Lawrence to keep that play alive. Make a defender miss in space. Fight towards that first down marker.
Think about the clock now, Dwayne. 1:07, 2nd and 1. Good chance to keep it on the ground here. Get a fresh set of downs. Continue to eat up the clock. Maybe give Ottawa no chance to respond.
They've certainly done, for as much as we've talked about the lack of finish, done a good job of eating up time when they've wanted to here in this ballgame.
Pat White back behind center. White goes forward. First down. And now some clock management for the Eskimos.
Absolutely. Let it run. Look for them to use all of that 20-second time clock each and every play. Keep the ball on the ground as much as possible.
Key is, too, this Ottawa Red-Black defense has been on the field a lot in the second half. They've done a terrific job, maybe their best effort of the season. Drive that started on the 10. And Darius Bowman was a big factor in it. Riley's in the shotgun. Keep it on the ground and protect that ball. Down to 41. Ottawa does have a timeout. So the Red Blacks will take their timeout right now.
Timeout, Ottawa.
And this will basically all come down to the foot of Grant Shaw. Chance to take a lead, a miss would make it a tie. You've got to think Shaw's going to make in this vicinity. The key might be for Ottawa how much time might be left for them to get it back downfield.
You try to take a shot, but this is so very largely in Edmonton's control right now. 40 seconds to go, 41 seconds to go in this ball game.
Well, the key was that fumble by Matt Carter. Alonzo Lawrence, the strip. Kendall Lawrence now puts it right in the middle of the field. They'll bring out Grant Shaw right now with 37 seconds to go. But think about how all the turnovers that Edmonton had in the ball game. The first turnover by Ottawa is the most costly one of all. And Alonzo Lawrence, who earlier made a mistake with a bad penalty, comes back with two great plays, including the biggest play of the game. So now Grant Shaw for the lead. 27-yarder. Up and it's good. So the Edmonton Eskimos have their first lead of the night with 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds away from moving to 6-1.
And a very, very small extra margin given here by Ottawa as they by Edmonton as they elected. I thought they might run the clock all the way down, call a timeout with a second left on the clock. They had a few seconds left there when they snapped that football, leaving Ottawa with a few extra seconds. Again, very small. I mean, the difference between 20 and 17.
Well, Matt Carter had the catch of the night earlier in this ball game. This was a terrific play, and then Alonzo Lawrence with the strip, the punch out. Dion Lacey, the recovery.
And you give Alonzo Lawrence a lot of credit for not quitting on that play, as he was the guy who left Matt Carter open.
Still a chance for Ottawa. They've got to get it in field goal range, though, and they haven't got much time. Better go down. Andrea Jones made up 6 seconds. That's a first down. 2 more of those, and they'll put it in Brett Maher's capable foot. And he'll have to make. 12 seconds to go. Burris can't find anybody. Now over the top, and it's almost picked. And now we're getting close to Hail Mary time. Because now you cannot get it really down to that 40 in 4 seconds with enough time to kick a field goal.
Yeah, that one needed to come out quickly. As basically it took the time of 2 plays. You're absolutely right.
4 seconds. Eskimos go back and prevent. And this is it. Barring penalty. Eskimos have 3 linemen to rush. They'll only rush 2. So the strong arm of Henry Burris. He just heaves it downfield into traffic. And that's it. The Ottawa Red Blacks have the lead for over 59 minutes. And in the last minute, Grant Shaw and the Edmonton Eskimos pull it out and steal one in the nation's capital. No touchdowns in this game, but lots of drama, lots of turnovers, and a critical one by the Red Blacks in the late going. The final tonight, Edmonton 10, Ottawa 8. Sports Center's coming your way right now. Good night, everybody, from Ottawa.